All right. Well, gonna pull some soil samples today. Actually did a couple yesterday, and I was kind of hoping it was gonna rain a little bit today because yesterday the ground was so damn hard I could barely get. I mean, I was standing on that probe trying to get it in the ground, and a couple cores I pulled only went in like 6 inches. That was about all the further I can get it. Oh no, he's got a lock on his barn. That's so messed up. It is surprising how many people... Why the fuck does it matter if I lock my barn? I lock my barn. It's my fucking barn. I can do whatever the hell I want with it. Had three people comment about why the hell do you lock your barn? 2 on the last video, which everybody knows about that Daryl fucking idiot. And then 1 on the video I did showing you around this place way back last winter. And that guy was like 2 weeks ago. So like I had 3 comments in 2 weeks. Does nobody else lock their fucking barn? Does nobody else care about their shit? And it's not even stuff getting stolen, it's fucking kids. Last summer, was it last summer? Pretty sure it was last summer. I was working 3rd shift, and I was in here watching TV, waiting to go to work. Neighbor lady comes over, she says, "Hey, I just saw some kids go in the basement of your barn." Broad fucking daylight outside. It was like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the middle of summer. And yeah, 4 fucking kids came in here and just helped themselves to fucking walking around. They went in the basement door. So yeah, I locked my shit. If you don't like it, fuck off. Anyhow, back to the soil sampling. The first field I gotta go to is just down the road here, so I'm just gonna, come on, just gonna ride my 4-wheeler down there. There ain't no sense in hauling it. Damn it. There we go. I was gonna bring a dead blow with me just in case, but I forgot that when Dad's old dead blow finally got a hole in it and all the sand fell out, I put mine in his toolbox and it's still over there, so I need to get a new dead blow. And I guess I need to dump the rest of that shit out of there so it doesn't mix. But anyway, I got a bucket, got a probe. I'm not gonna take the mixer or any of that crap with me. I'll come back and do that at the house, so I ain't gotta carry it on 4-wheeler. So I'm gonna cruise over there and we'll catch you at the field. Okay, so before we get started, we'll go over a review of the soil sampling basics, since it's been a minute since anybody's seen a soil sampling video from me. And for the new people, so when you pull soil samples, you use a soil probe like this one. You sample to the depth of your tillage. In the fall, I try to work about 11 inches deep. The ground's so damn hard, I can't get that probe in 11 inches deep, so I'm soil sampling as deep as I can get the probe in the ground. Except for if you're soil sampling for pH. If you're soil sampling for pH to get a lime recommendation, you always sample to 8 inches. As far as sample size goes, you do not want a sample to represent more than 20 acres of ground. If you soil sample to use a fertilizer map, you sample on either a 2.5 acre grid sampling is standard, or sampling by soil type using a soil map. Those are your 2 options. You can, obviously, your grid size can vary depending on how accurate you want to be. However, You only need to sample as accurate as the tools you have to apply the product. I used to have guys give me shit all the time. Oh, you can't have one sample for one field. That's too big. I don't have a way to variable rate apply fertilizer. And if this little corner right here needs more or less fertilizer than that little corner back there, I'm not going to come up here, make a quick loop, adjust the fertilizer spreader, go back there, make a quick loop, adjust the fertilizer. No. And you pull a sample for the field, you get the best result you can, and then you apply it with the tools you have available to you. You don't make a blueprint for a house down to the 1,000th of an inch because you know the guy putting it together is only going to be able to use it, or only going to be measuring with a tape measure. You soil sample to use the tools you have available for application. I get a pull type spreader from Helena. It's not variable rate. I apply one pass. I'm only going to pull one sample for the field. That's basically it. Soil sampling is pretty basic. Those are really the only rules you got. Oh, you also, no matter how small the field is, they recommend at least 15 cores. More than that is better, but you at least want 15 to get a decent representative sample. Now, for instance, if you're grid sampling and you are riding around on a side-by-side or something, what they recommend is when you're supposed to pick a spot at random, you don't go to a certain spot, you drive and then you stop randomly. And they recommend, it's like if you're grid sampling, you get off and you pull a core off of every corner of of the vehicle. And you do that in multiple spots in your sample zone. For what I'm doing here, I'm just going to pull a bunch of different cores off this field because I'm not grid sampling or zone sampling or anything like that. So, anyhow, yeah, I guess we'll get after it. Basically, what I do when I'm soil sampling like this is I just work in a Z pattern and crisscross the field a bunch of times. That's general. I'm not going to say it's the way you have to do it. It just makes life a little easier. And I'm not going to pull a sample right here in the corner because I generally don't plant this corner, so I got a place to park. And I guess one more thing to make it that they recommend is, like, in Michigan we just have regular dirt roads. We don't have gravel roads, but like in Iowa, in central Illinois, I know they use a lot of limestone base for their gravel roads. So if you have a gravel road that uses limestone for a base, you do not want to sample within 50 yards of that road if you're sampling for soil pH, because the dust off of that road will line that part of the field right next to the road, and your pH is going to be different there. you just basically do that for the whole field. So I'll get this done and we'll catch you back at the house and I'll show you what you do with the rest of the sample. Then after you get all your cores pulled, you're gonna end up with a bucket of stuff that looks about like that. And what you got to do is mix that all up so that it's a uniform random sample. You can do it by hand. However, we have this nice old handy dandy drywall mud mixer that goes on an electric drill that works really damn good. So that's what I use. And the nice thing about using that mixture over just doing it by hand is if you have it where it was chunky like it was, you can turn that drill up and pulverize it back down to actual fine soil so that it's a lot easier to put in the bag instead of having a bunch of big chunks. And most places that do soil tests, if you're just going to send in 1 or 2, they have no problem with you sending them in Ziploc bags. I use A&L Labs in Fort Wayne, mostly because that's who did all of our stuff down at Purdue. And on their website, they actually have a web store, and you can order these bags for free if you get 25 or more. This is actually one of my last ones. I ordered 50 more because I knew I was doing all my fields this year, so those should be here. But luckily I had 4 of them left to do the 4 fields I got a crop off of already, so that worked out pretty good. But if you'd send them in a Ziploc bag, you'd normally want to fill it just to make sure they have enough soil. On these bags, they actually put a line on there that says fill to this line so that they know they have enough soil to do all their tests. Which, that's why it's important to do a good job of sampling, because that entire field is going to be represented by that much dirt. Sorry, soil. It pisses the trolls off when I say dirt. And we got to keep the trolls happy. Because if the trolls aren't happy, everybody's just entertained. And just like that, you made yourself a soil sample. So there's 3 done. I got 1 more. I gotta go do the field out on the highway. That one's small enough. I'm gonna walk it, or spend more time getting on and off the 4-wheeler than you do anything else on a field that small. So anyhow, I guess this is just a nice little short one for the day, although it probably won't get uploaded till tomorrow. So, oh no, it's those damn locks again. Son of a bitch, this guy must be crazy. Anyway, I was going to cut this video off at the end of soil sampling there, but I am going to chisel plow this little 2-acre chunk here out on the highway, and that's not really enough to warrant its own video. So I figured I'd tack it on the end here so that you have some tractor stuff on here too. And I don't think anybody's going to complain about having some tractor stuff. So I guess we'll go ahead and wake the girls up. I gotta clean the windows here on the old 150 because they're a little scuzzy. We'll get her warming up anyhow. Check the oil first. That's a good idea. Check the oil first. We're okay. Needs a little bit, but for 2 acres it's fine. It's still in the work range. Probably about a quart low. $32.08. Start the first time every time. And fire this thing up. I'm actually gonna flip-flop these while I'm over here today. Get the 525 next to this door, because they won't fit out that door, because that door is like 2 inches shorter. But I'm gonna have beans ready to cut before I have more corn ready to shell, so. And then you got the 354 Perkins. It'll start eventually, but once it's running, it's great. So while they're warming up, I'm gonna get them windows clean, and we'll see you here in a minute. Well, I almost didn't think I was gonna get any chisel plowing done today. As you can see there, I had a boo-boo. Went to pull this thing out of the barn, and how it happened, I don't know, but somehow this spring assist stop got flipped back, and when I went to pick the head up, it came back and pinched that damn steel line right there, cut it clean in two. Blew oil all over the place. There's oil all over the side of the feeder house, all over the inside of the wheel, all over the damn step. Just a damn mess. So luckily it only took me about 30 minutes. I had to go home, get the tools, get that line off, go home, make a new line, come back. I think that's probably a new record for replacing the steel line. So now I gotta get some damn oil to top it back off, because I bet it lost at least 2 quarts. Scared the living shit out of me. But we got her taken care of, and life moves on. It just really kind of pisses you off when the breakdown isn't even something that should have happened. It's just for something really stupid like that. But on the other hand, it could have been something really complicated and took forever to fix, so. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm gonna cut you here for a second so I can get this thing mounted. Luckily this field don't take very long. I can do this thing in maybe 30 minutes. We got some more rain last night. It didn't amount to much. It was basically like a heavy dew. Would have been nice to get more out of it. But it's a double-edged sword. I got beans that are ready to cut, so I don't want it to rain, but on the other hand, we need some rain to soften this ground up so we can get some damn tillage done, so damned if you do, damned if you don't. Probably have to shut that window so you can hear me. Ain't that bright out. 2, 3. See where that gets us. 4. Man, this ground is hard. 1, 2, 3, 4. But anyway, that's it for today, because I gotta go home and make lunch and get ready for work. So the next video, depending on the weather, is either gonna be moldboard plowing because it's too wet to cut beans, or cutting beans. So I guess be on the lookout for either one of those come probably Sunday. So that's it for this one. We'll catch y'all on the next one.